Well, we've been looking at finding the determinant of a matrix, and we've been looking at 2 by 2 matrices, but now we're going to do one with a 3 by 3. And I'm going to do it as 2 ways. One, we're going to do it manually using diagonals. And then here in just a moment, I think it's time, when we get into these 3 by 3 matrices, I think it's time that we discuss how we can do this with our calculators. But let's do this manually first. So I have a matrix here, a 3 by 3, minus 5, 9, 4, minus 2, minus 1, 5, minus 4, 6, and 2. And so what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to go ahead and write this entire matrices outside of the matrix symbols. And notice that these are not in brackets, as we would normally find with a matrix, but rather it resembles more of an absolute value symbol, and that tells us that we're to find the determinant. So let's see if I can get this written. I got minus 5, 9. I'm going to make that a little thicker. Minus 5, 9, 4, and minus 2, minus 1, 5, and minus 4, 6, and 2. So you might be wondering, why am I doing it this way? Well, we're going to be calculating or making the finding of the determinant by diagonals. And so we're going to draw a diagonal line like this, and like this, and like this. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply across these diagonals. And this is the first step. So let's see. I've got minus 5 times minus 1 times 2. Well, that's going to give me 10. And then I've got 9 times 5. Well, 9 times 5 is 45. Times minus 4. 45 times minus 4, I happen to know, is minus 180. And then 4 times minus 2 times 6. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. Times 6 is going to give me minus 48. And I'm going to set all of those in a parentheses. I'm going to go ahead and put a minus sign out here. And now I'm going to look at diagonals in the other direction. That's why I wrote the entire matrices. You'll see in your book that has you do it in 2 steps, but I believe you can do it in 1 here. So let's see. I'm going to have a diagonal going this way, and a diagonal coming this way, and a diagonal coming this way. So I'm going to start over here on the far right. So I got 4 times minus 1. Well, that's minus 4 times minus 4, which is going to give me 16. Going to the second diagonal right here. So I got 9 times minus 2. Well, that's minus 18 times 2. That's going to give me minus 36. And the last diagonal, I got minus 5 times 5. Well, that's minus 25 times 6 is going to be minus 150. So I'm going to take the product of all these diagonals that I've just done, going from left to right and then right to left. And I'm going to solve this inside the parentheses and then subtract one from the other. So I got 10 minus 180 minus 48. Well, that's going to give me minus 218 minus whatever's inside this next parentheses. So I got 16 minus 36 minus 150, and that is minus 170. Okay, so I got minus 218 minus minus 170, or that just becomes a plus. So minus 218 plus 170, and my determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix is minus 48. Okay, so that's an example of how to do it diagonally. Next, we're going to move towards how we would solve it on the calculator. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at finding a third order determinant. We call it a third order determinant because it is the determinant for a 3x3 matrices. And this time we're going to use our TI 84 or 83 calculators to find that determinant. In the last slide we showed how you can do it manually by using diagonals. And I'm going to be referring you to page 190 in the textbook, and this is in guided practice 2B. We did 2A on the slide before. So let's use our calculators to do this. And to start, let me clear this history so we can get a recording here of the keystrokes. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit second. And I'm going down here where I've got x to the minus 1 power, which is the inverse. And you can see right above it here where it says matrix. I'm going to hit that. And this brings up my matrix menu. And I'm going to scroll over here to edit. And I'm going to work with this matrix A. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now, ordinarily, this is already set up as a 3x3 matrix, but let's just see. I could go to 2. I'm going to take it back to a 3x3. I just want to show you how I can change it. 3x3 matrix. Go ahead and hit enter. And it's going to build this 3x3 matrix out for me, and I've just got to fill it in. So again, I'm looking at 2B, so I'm going to hit -8. Make sure you hit this symbol here, down at the very bottom of your keypad, not the subtraction symbol, -8, and I'm going to hit enter. It's going to tab me over to the next location. I'm going to hit -4, enter, and let's see, 4, enter. It's going to take me down to the second row now, and I'm following along, 0, enter. -5, enter. -8, enter. 3, enter. 4, enter. And 1. Enter. Let me check my data. -8, -4, 4, 0, -5, -8, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so there's my 3x3 matrix that I've built. And now I'm going to go back to second matrix. And this time I'm going to go to math. And I see here that this number 1 option, DET, that stands for the determinant. It's got a parentheses. I'm going to hit enter because I'm trying to define the determinant, the third order determinant, which is the determinant of a 3x3 matrix. I'm going to hit enter. And no, I don't think I want to do that. Clear, let's see. Let's just go over here to the math. Nope. Let's go second quit. Okay, get to my math screen. Now I'm going to hit second matrix. I'm going to go over here to math. I'm going to hit the determinant. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to hit second matrix again. And I'm going to choose this matrix that I just built, the 3x3 matrix. So I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to close the parentheses. I'm going to hit enter again. And this is going to tell me that the determinant for that 3x3 matrices is -60. So, as you can probably see, it's a much easier method of determining or finding the determinant. You've got the keystrokes here. I encourage you to watch this video again if you have any questions.